Let me tell y'all something. I have been trying to be extremely nice about this show because this is one of my favorite black shows that comes on TV. But after missing a couple of episodes and coming back to what I just came back to on this last episode, all gloves are off and I'm about to wear y'all ass out. Let's go. Listen, I'm so frustrated, upset, and discombobulated with this damn episode. I don't even know what number it is. I don't know if this is season 4, episode 7, 8, or 9. So all I can tell you is this is Ready to Love season 4. I will definitely make sure that I put the correct episode in the title because I don't even know what episode it is right now, but I just know I'm ready to talk about it because whew, they done ran my pressure. So piggybacking off of last week's episode where Tommy had the ladies introduce their interest to their ex. So their assignment was to have their exes meet whoever, whoever it is they're interested in the most. And everybody's interactions and dates went extremely well except for Alexis and Liz. Those were the two ladies that, meeting with the exes didn't really work out. So during conversation with Alexis's ex, Ron says, can I ask you a question? Are you into the church? And so the ex was like, yes. Alexis is actually the person that kind of introduced me to the church life, so I'm very much into it. And he said, yeah, I could just sense that religion is just like dripping off of you. So it was the way he said it that was really really off-putting and really like kind of looking at him like, yeah, you old square ass trigger. I can tell you one of them hallelujah triggers that you really not on my level, is the vibe that Ron was putting off. And then he took it a step further and said, yeah, during my time with Alexis, I've learned that she's definitely the type of person to just pray about something and throw it up in the air versus me. I'm just going to make sure that I go out and get it. And so, that definitely had Alexis looking at him some type of way, because when you are into your religion as closely and you have a close connection as Alexis has with her faith and with her religion, it's kind of like, don't look down on me, don't shame me or try to make me feel no type of way about how I choose to live my life. You know what I'm saying? And she already told him previously that she's not trying to just shove the Bible in his face, and that she always makes sure she kind of dumbs it down and downplays, how much religion really is important to her because of the fact that she's really feeling him. So she don't hit him with all of this hallelujah Bible stuff as much as she could, because she's sparing him and she knows that he's not exactly there in his journey. So she's not gonna beat him over the head with that. But he took this opportunity to really show his true colors on how he felt about her being so much into the church and being so religious. But it's just like, Ron, you knew from day one that this lady just came out of a marriage of being married to a pastor. She was a first lady. So, and then outside of that, if somebody is telling you that this is what they're about, then if they're telling you that off the rip, then this is probably not a person that you want to make your top 1 or your top 2. But hell, you made a top 1. Because hell, she been talking about she's number 1 for I don't know how many episodes. She about got me ready to cuss her out. She done said she your number 1 so many times. So it's just like, you knew what you were getting into off the top. So I just don't understand where this big dick energy is coming from with you, and feeling some type of way. I felt like it had a little bit to do with the fact that you didn't know that you were walking in to meet her ex. I feel like that had something to do with it. So you kind of puffed your chest up and, you know, said what you had to say to make yourself feel better. You was a little insecure about the situation. And so that's why you had you was putting off the persona that you was putting off and the vibe that you was putting off. And Alexis caught your tea. Alexis caught your tea just like the rest of us did, honey. You was stunting. It wasn't nothing but a stunt, but that's okay, because I got some more coming for your ass. Just wait 1 minute. Now, when it was time for Liz, her ex, and David to meet up, before David got there, Liz had already kind of gave the ex the heads up about the situation that went on when it was time for Liz to meet David's friends. Okay, so the situation that happened when it was David's turn to invite Liz out, when he had his 2 friends there, she said when the cameras went off, David threw out the situation about Liz said that earlier that day she had went out on a date with Jason again, and David took it upon himself to say in front of his friends, well, did you kiss him again? You know, it ain't nothing like an insecure man. An insecure man will show his slip in a minute. All you got to do is put him in one particular situation and he'll let that slip show, baby. It'll show before you know it. And so, of course, Liz was taken aback, and she was definitely offended and a little hurt by the fact that he would bring that up in front of his friends, because she understands that first impression is everything. So don't have me out here looking hoish. Don't have me out here just looking like I'm throwing my tongue down anybody's throat when you know that's not the case. That's first of all. And then second of all, you only knew about the first kiss because the same night that it happened, I called you and I told you, because other than that, you wouldn't have never found out until towards the end of this whole process. So let's be clear about that. And David, so okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, Liz filled the ex in about all that. So the ex had already said before David even showed up that, first of all, that was a punk ass move, and now it's got him feeling some type of way about David before he even meets him, which is understandable. So like Liz said, the ex took the big brother role, and as soon as David sat down, of course they shook hands, they greeted each other like adults, but the ex went right into it and was like, you know, how do you really feel about Liz, and what is it that you're looking for out of this connection? And David said something to the effect of he's looking for somebody to build with, and that that can hold his secrets, and that can be a safe haven for him. And that's when the ex was like, oh, a safe haven, huh? Well, did you feel like you were being a safe haven for her when you took something that was discussed in private and brought it out in front of your friends? And I'll clarify that for you. I'm talking about the kiss that she had with another contestant. Like, you brought that up in front of your friends. Did you feel like that was being a safe haven? And so at this point, David is feeling a little ambushed. He is definitely closed off at this point. And you know, he was dancing around, you know, he was tap dancing, if you will, around the answer. And all he said was, well, you know, if Liz would have told me that that was something that she wanted to keep private, I would have never mentioned it in front of my friends. And then the ex hit him with the same thing that I would have hit him with. Like, you didn't read the room. You could not read her body language or her tone or the expression. And you couldn't tell that she was uncomfortable with you mentioning that around your friends? And he said, no, I couldn't. So, you know, in the future, she would just have to tell me that, you know, this is private. This is a private matter. And I'm just like, this is why you're lonely. Let me just hold my tongue on David. So anyway, y'all, long story short, it ended up being Ron and David in the bottom two. And long story short, Alexis said that, you know, she is really putting Ron as her bottom because of the fact that she realized, she kind of had the light bulb come on, and she feels like she's been rooting for Ron this whole time for the simple fact that he's been rooting for her. You know, he actually chose her as his number one, so she was willing to accommodate. She really felt like it was something there. But now that her eyes are open to how rebellious he is towards religion, and you know, having religion be the head of the household like she would like it to be, she realizes that she's just not willing to sacrifice her religion for a man. And Alexis, I take my hat off to you, and I'm glad that you realized that this early in the game. You know, I'm glad that you didn't just go through and, you know, choose Ron and walk off of this season with Ron, and then you already know that that's always going to be a major problem for you in your relationship, because he's going to always feel like you're pressuring him into religion, and you're always pushing religion on him, no matter how much you let off the gas, and no matter how much, you know, you can only ask him something about going to church or religion once every 6 months, and he gonna swear every time them 6 months come around that you just ask him some shit about religion every day. You know, he's gonna make a big whoop-de-doo about it. So I'm so glad that you caught his tea and you realized that he ain't it. He is not it. Liz, as far as Liz goes, she said that, you know, she's seen a whole new layer to David, as far as, you know, the fact that he is very insecure, like all the ladies have been saying about him all along. And the fact that the night she told him about the kiss between her and Jason, and for him to keep saying, oh, you know, it's no problem, it's fine, it's fine, but every chance you get, you keep bringing it up. Like, bro, what's up? And then to add insult to injury, one of the questions that David had, one of the first questions that David had for the ex was, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you guys were intimate? Let me tell you something, baby. That ex paused for a minute, and then he leaned in on that table, and I could have sworn that he was gonna say exactly what I would have said, because I would have looked him square in his eyes and said, none of your damn business. You don't ask no shit like that. Just because this is somebody that you're getting to know, I don't give a damn if I just threw my legs up for my ex last night. That don't have nothing to do with me and you. And if it do have something to do with me and you, then you ask me that. You don't ask him no question like that. Like, what kind of coof do you got? Grown man, bruh. Sir, bruh. Man of God. Bruh. What kind of question is that? Get your life.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, now that was just a little small recap of last week's episode, and now we get into this week's episode. All right, so this week's episode, we still have Liz and Alexis talking to Ron and David. Okay, Liz meets David outside of some cute little restaurant, maybe some type of lounge. And of course, we all know that when the person invites you out, and at this point, they all know at a certain day and a certain time, if somebody invites you out, we've all figured out that they know this is either the day that they tell your ass you're eliminated, this is doomsday for your ass, or they'll say that, well, we felt like this, but we still feel like you're ready to love. So, you know, this is the straddle the fence day. Either you're going to stay, but you got put in the bottom, or you're going to leave, okay? So everybody knows that when you're on that kind of date, then the person that invited you out is the one that speaks first, okay? That's how that works. So, so Liz tries to go in and speak her speech, and she says, well, I just want to say, and that's far as she got, because David politely snatched her wrist and was like, no, I want to talk. Just let me talk. And she said, no, let me say what I have to say. And y'all, they were literally, it seemed like they were going back and forth for 10 minutes straight about who was going to be able to get the floor first. It was so aggravating and irritating because David could not listen for talking. You know what I'm saying? And it was just so frustrating to sit there and watch. So I can only imagine how Liz was feeling, because she was actually the one in that moment. Like, I was so frustrated for her, it didn't make no sense. So she's literally sitting there fussing with this man, telling him like, brother, please, you're a gentleman, right? You know what I'm saying? You're a Christian man, right? Let me just speak my speech. Let me just say what I got to say. And David is not having it, because I guess he just knows in his heart of hearts that, baby, you on the chopping block. Baby, you on the chopping block. Like, because she had already said before she sat down that she hadn't talked to David in quite a while. So, you know, it was no tea, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They hadn't been talking. David knew they hadn't been talking. So I guess, you know, you called me out of nowhere to say, hey, can you meet me real quick so that we can have a discussion. You already know what the discussion about. So you walked into the situation with your guard up. And instead of you just sitting there and listening to what she had to say like a real man, you bitched up. That's what you did. You bitched up. And you would not let her say what she had to say, because for whatever reason, I think that it went back all the way back to when that young lady or woman, whoever she was, walked out on you and fucked your world up. You went back to that moment. You knew that Liz was getting ready to walk out of your life. You knew this was another moment where you took a L. So instead of you sitting there and sitting in that shit like a man and letting her say, this is the reason that you're not ready to love, you didn't want to hear it. So what the fuck did he say? This fool gonna say, well, I just wanted to let you know that I self-eliminated a long time ago. Bitch, what? You self-eliminated a long time ago. And like Liz said, well, when was you gonna tell me that? We could have got to this a long time ago. You self-eliminated a long time ago. When you self-eliminated on when you got that phone call to meet me, that's when you self-eliminated. Because if we want to call a spade, you should have self-eliminated when you was filling out the application to get on this show. You should have self-eliminated when you realized that you was insecure and you're still not ready to be in another relationship for real. You should have self-eliminated when you was out here asking Stacy, is it okay to have her password, bank account number, and all this other irrelevant shit just to be in a secure relationship with you. You should have self-eliminated when you realized that the fact that this grown, mature woman called you and told you that I kissed somebody else and I'm getting to know somebody else, but my heart is still with you. But you knew you couldn't take it because that shit run through your mind all throughout the day, every day. That's when you should have self-eliminated. But that's not what you did, good sir. That's not what happened. And Liz is a better woman than I'll ever be, because y'all, the way David sat there and cut up the way that he did, baby, messing with me, that other eye would have been real sleepy. Messing with me, boy, you would have caught your issue. You would have caught your issue messing with me, because I would have let you know from the top to the bottom why you should have self-eliminated. Because, baby, it was going to be one of the two. That other eye was either going to match that sleepy eye, or I was going to wake that sleepy eye right on up. Or I was going to pop you in your mouth and straighten up that good old list that you got. Or I was going to kick you in between your legs where the sun don't shine and give you that pom-pom that you act like you already got. Wow. Because it didn't make no sense for you to sit up there and act like that with that lady, and she wasn't nothing but respectful to you. And she should have never been. I'll never be respectful to a pussy trigger. I'll never be respectful to one. I promise you I won't. I'll never be respectful to a man who can't sit there and contain himself and listen to what I have to say. It's nothing but words. You either gonna respect it or check it. But you couldn't even sit there and listen to it. And y'all, I really doubt if we're gonna see David at the reunion. If we see David at the reunion, good sir, I hope you there with a skirt and some high heels on. Because I know you're gonna be a real bitch. You're gonna be real bitchy at the reunion, because you ain't gonna have no choice but to sit there and listen to all your wrongdoings and look at how you sat there and acted like a damn 4-year-old. Oh, Jason stole my girlfriend. Yeah, we're really gonna see it then. So anyway, y'all, I know y'all like, oh my gosh, she's so upset. I am upset because y'all, I don't like stuff like that. So that scene ended with, of course, the cameraman trying to follow him and interview him and ask him, you know, like, you know, why are you feeling the way that you feeling about this situation? He gonna talk about he just trying to leave this show with integrity. You know, he's self-eliminated and he just trying to leave with integrity. Well, that wasn't the way to go about it. Because from what I witnessed on that screen, I didn't see I didn't see a teaspoon of integrity, sir. And I shouldn't even call you sir. Ho. I didn't see a lick of integrity. What I saw was immaturity. What I saw was insecurity. What I saw was, hell, in the words of P. Diddy, bitch assness. That's what I saw. Because if you can't even sit there and listen to what nobody has to say, how are you leaving with integrity? Boy, you look a fucking fool. You look a goddamn fool. And I hope you play that episode 75 times a day and realize that it was no kind of integrity in the way that you left, and how disrespectful it was that you keep cutting this lady off and won't let her say what she got to say because you want to run up in here and puff your chest up talking about some you self-eliminated. Denied. You need to take your punk ass home and do some self-care, self-love. Find a therapist or somebody to help you learn how to love on you. Because the way that you out here maneuvering, trying to find a relationship, sir, you in for a long road of loneliness. Because you went about this whole situation wrong. With every female that you had an interaction with on this show, you went about it absolutely wrong. And it's crazy because the show actually threw your ass the alley-oop and you still missed it. They threw you not one, but two ladies that feel the same way about religion that you feel. And you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball all the way around. So you can't say that they didn't have anybody out there for you or nobody understands where you coming from. You had two women out there that knew exactly where you were coming from, that were willing and ready to not have sex until marriage. And hell, Liz was even willing to give you her bank account number and cell phone information, password, and all that old shit. So how you dropped that ball the way that you did, all because everything was going fine until this woman said that she kissed another man. And that took you back to a previous relationship. And that's how I know your ass need help, and you still need a lot of therapy, because you are not over what happened to you when that lady, when your ex walked out on you. You are not over that situation by a long way. And it's written all over your face. So, goodbye and good riddance. And I'm glad that Liz finally got to squeeze them couple of words in that your punk ass is not ready to love. The last little bit of notes that I got for David is another thing that he said was he could tell that the enemy was trying to come in between the middle of the situation. Who is the enemy, David? I would love to know that. I pray to God that they ask you that on the reunion if you even show up. Like, who is the enemy? Is the enemy Jason? Is the enemy Liz's tongue? Do you feel like she has the Jezebel spirit on her because she allowed somebody to kiss her? Who is the enemy? I would love to know. I would just absolutely love to know, because from what we've seen, Liz has never done nothing but take up for you this whole time. So I would love to know who the enemy is. But y'all, anyway, in the very last bit of the scene, Liz just said that she is just very hurt, and this whole situation has been very hurtful to her, for him to leave the way that he did. She never saw it coming. Hell, I know I didn't see it coming. I would have thought if anybody left with grace and with class and with understanding, it would have been David. It wasn't. It wasn't. Let me tell y'all about Ron and Alexis. Okay, Alexis is in the middle of just still having the conversation and expressing how she feels, and at one point she gets to telling him, you know, what she can offer and how she can bring value to his life, and he cut her off right there and he said, you can't offer me nothing. Again, Alexis is a better woman than I'll ever be. But you know, she was getting him together nice nasty. But for you to say that Alexis cannot offer you nothing, it says a whole lot about you. Because first of all, you said that out of hurt. You mad because you knew why you was there. You knew that you was getting ready to be eliminated. So you wanted to belittle this woman as much as you possibly could. You wanted to try to break her down as much as possible to get her off of her game of what she was there to do and what she needed to tell you. So when she said that she had something to offer you and how she could, you know, elevate your life, you hurry up and you couldn't wait to get your heavy tongue in there to say, oh, you can't offer me nothing. Yes, she can, and you know for a fact that she can, because just a couple of episodes ago when she met your friends, that's exactly what you said. You said that Chrysanthemum was your typical type. That's the typical type, and that's the fun girl that you'll go out with. But Alexis, you and your friends all said that Alexis is the type of woman that can elevate your life, that can upgrade you. She has that Michelle Obama effect. So if you want to go higher in your life and higher in your relationship, then Alexis is the person that you need to roll with. You and your friends sat there and said that. So when she said something about being able to offer you something, why would that be the first thing to come out your mouth? Baby, Ron took that opportunity to pull his skirt up and show his whole pum pum. And that thing is fat. Well, you got a fat pum pum for saying some stupid shit like that. Do you know how stupid you sound? When just a couple of episodes ago, you had this woman sitting on a high pedestal, and then now you're going to look down on her and like she's just some kind of this hardcore Bible thumper that can't offer you nothing. Boy, please. You was all into that girl. And then he tried to add insult to injury and say, oh, well, you know, just last night I was on a date with Amber and we kissed and we've been talking every day. Okay. Again, if you started pursuing somebody else and you were into that person that you're pursuing, all it takes is a conversation. Sir, I know I'm on the show. I know what I'm here for. So, and I also know that it is a high possibility that the tables can turn and things can change and people can start feeling other people. I know that. So if you would have just came out and said, okay, well, you know, I've been in communication with somebody else, so I do want to let you know that, and I really can't just say for sure that you're my number one, but, you know, I'm still willing to see where shit can go. Alexis is old enough and mature enough to understand that. But did you say that? No. Honey, you let that pussy hang. You let that thing hang out. And you couldn't wait to throw that shit up in her face. And then it's some more stuff that's gonna come out in a minute that's gonna let y'all know how big of a bitch that Ron really is. Like, I'm so glad that Alexis did not end up with him. Boy, you really told the joke of the day talking about some Alexis can't offer you nothing. You need to be happy she was trying to offer you something, because it could have never been me. It could have never been me. If you would have told me you was a club promoter promoting these hole-in-the-wall ass clubs, you're right. I don't have nothing to offer you. I wish I would have something to offer a man who got to get up every morning and put a sheet of paper across his forehead and spray his motherfucking hairline on. You're right. I don't have nothing to offer you. I wish I would, with your heavy tongue ass. Like in the words of Nicki Minaj, Ninja, you can't even say your S's. So you're right. I don't have nothing to offer you. Nothing at all. Then you talking about how much you like to travel. Bitch, I can't even take your ass out in the sun for too long because your beard gonna start melting. Fuck you talking about. Like, see, this is where I'm at, and that's why y'all where y'all at, because my mouth ain't right. My mouth ain't right. I'm telling y'all something. I am a Pisces. I'm one of the sweetest, nicest people you will ever meet. But don't motherfucking cross me. Don't cross me. Because shit'll get real raw. You can come with all the fat jokes you want. Because, baby, I promise you I'm going to read your ass from the first hair follicle in your head to the last piece of cuticle in your toenail. You can get your issue over here. All day. Every day. So, y'all. Woo! Y'all, these two hoes, Ron and David, y'all should have heard me in here going off. If y'all think I'm going off now, y'all should have saw me actually looking at the show. I was talking about, you would have thought that I was in a relationship with them. You would have thought that they don't, that it's one of my best friends or something. That's what you would have thought. That's what you would have thought. Like, I was in here snapping. I was so mad. Oh my God. But yeah, so that little scene ended with Ron doing a little confessional, talking about, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, I'm just out here doing me and I'm just trying to have fun, and Alexis just isn't fun. Okay, bro. Now we are at the gentleman's lounge. The men immediately noticed that two of the fellas are missing, which of course are Ron and David, because both of them hoes had to tip on out the door. Okay. So this week, Tommy says that he is sending them to a ranch getaway. And the men are all getting excited because he's telling them that it's just going to be like a private little ranch getaway. They're going to do some horseback riding. They can cuddle up cozy by the fire and just really get to know the person that they're interested in, because this will put them in a setting where you will get to see what a person is like to live with. You know, so that's kind of like the scenario that they were setting up. So I don't know if this was a full weekend trip or a whole week trip. I don't know how many days they were actually able to be on the ranch together. But that was the purpose of this particular exercise. So when they got there, Kyra said that she is still confused between AJ and Jason. Alexis is in her feelings with Amber about what her and Ron got going on. and Vernisha is talking to the girls about feeling secure with Joel, and she's just saying that, you know, like Joel is her guy. But little did she know that Ron, bitch ass Ron, had done a little pillow talking and have done spilt the beans to Amber. And now Amber decides to bring it out in front of all the ladies. But she was talking to Vernisha and letting Vernisha know that, well, did you know that Joel, in eliminations last week, when Tommy asked who would you go home with, did you know that Joel picked Kyra? Now, when Joel did his confessional, he felt exactly like I did. Some of that, hold up, little mama. If anybody was supposed to repeat that business, that should have been me. How the hell did you even find out? And so, you know, that was definitely how I would have felt about that situation. But of course, when they panned the camera on Vernisha, you could see the hurt all over her face. She was instantly hurt and surprised. And when they put the camera on Kyra, she was just like, girl, well, you know, shit. At this point, I'll go home with whoever. Because Kyra, when Kyra says she is straddling the fence and she really don't have a made-up mind, like, she don't. I feel like if Joel really was into Kyra, hell, Kyra might just go home with Joel for real, because she is legit all over the place. But I'm still rocking with Kyra. You know, I still like her. Let's see what else happened. Oh, so about that whole situation, Joel says that, well, baby, you know, I didn't tell you about that because it don't even really matter. Now, when he said that, I completely disagree. Joel, it does matter. It matters, and you know that it matters. I feel like when it happened, no matter when y'all got into y'all disagreement, even if you didn't feel like hearing her voice at that time, you should have texted her and told her. Because if you knew that you were saying that out of anger or out of pettiness, and that you for real would not go home with Kyra, then that's something that you should have expressed to Vernisha, because you know good and damn well that either y'all are going to watch the show back together, or her friends and family are going to contact her and say, hey, did you know he said da-da-da-da? Like, either way it goes, it was going to get back to her. So it should have came out the horse's mouth. It looks really bad coming out of somebody else's mouth. It is the whole point that Vernisha was making. So at this point, the ladies are all sitting down outside at the table, and they're just kind of having a conversation about what they're looking to accomplish out of this trip and out of, you know, being in this little secluded area. And Alexis says that she is just really looking for a made-up mind. And Kyra says, yeah, me too. And Alexis kind of looked over at her like, yeah, I want you to end up with a made-up mind too, because, you know, you're straddling between AJ and Jason. But, you know, AJ is who Alexis really wants. So it's like, look, girl, if you want AJ, you need to let me know that you want AJ just as much as I do. But if it's going to be Jason, then you need to be focusing your attention on Jason and leaving AJ alone so that AJ can focus on me. And then on the inside of the house, all the men are talking, and it's like Jason and AJ are having that exact same conversation inside the house, because they are both have their focus on Kyra. So even though AJ also has Alexis and Jason also has Liz, again, they have Kyra in common. So it's just like, bruh, which one of us is really feeling Kyra more? Like, we got to figure that out. But AJ did say that he feels like he sensed Kyra's indecisiveness. You know, he said he does feel like he's doing everything he can to pursue her, and for her to still be as indecisive as she is, then, you know, he's more susceptible to go ahead and lean towards Alexis and really get to putting all his energy into Alexis because Kyra don't seem to have her shit together and he ain't got time. At some point, all the couples go horseback riding except for Joelle and Venetia, and I don't think Chris and Amber went, but everybody else went horseback riding. They all had a good time besides the very beginning for Liz. Liz's horse actually stepped on her foot and she said that it hurt pretty bad, and the horse riding instructor was like, are you okay? She said, yeah, I think so. She said, well, does it hurt? And she was like, yeah, I can definitely feel it. And she said, well, you know, you're probably going to have a horseshoe print on the top of your foot. You know, it's probably going to be a little bruised, but, you know, you should be okay. But what I would suggest that you get in that lovely luxury tub when you get in your room tonight and just really, really soak it. And I was like, girl, Mr. Ed would have took an elbow to the neck, because don't be stepping on my damn foot. So like I said, Joelle and Venetia decided not to do the horseback riding, but what they did do is stay back at the house and they cooked dinner for everyone. So I'm assuming that Joelle really likes to cook, because y'all remember Joelle and Venetia's first date, he had cooked her some breakfast. And now, you know, he's cooking dinner for everyone. So Joelle is just really a man that likes to be in the kitchen. So I think that's really, really cool. And so let's see, he's cooking dinner for everyone. But him and Venetia also get into a conversation about the whole Kyra gate. Okay, because they're alone at this point. So Venetia wants to know, like, so you were willing to just completely throw me away and go and leave with Kyra because we got in one misunderstanding? And he was honest and he said, yeah, at that time, that was my honest answer and that's how I felt. He was like, but at the end of the day, you gotta know that my interest is in you. You know what I'm saying? You my number one. You the one I'm rocking with. Like, let's not play these games. And she's like, yeah, that's the whole fucking point that I'm trying to make. Let's not play these games. Like, all this time, anytime anybody asks me anything about my number one, who I'm rocking with, who I'm leaving with, I ain't never said no other name but Joelle. So, you know, I'm just kind of taken aback that we get in one little misunderstanding and you ready to run off in the sunset with somebody that I haven't even seen you talking to, for real, for real. So Venetia was all in her feelings, which she had every right to be. No matter how much explaining that she's doing, Joelle does not see the error of his ways, and Venetia is just getting more and more frustrated by the minute. And I felt her in that moment because I have been in that situation in my own relationship. Some things happened in my relationship when me and my man were just in the talking stages. You know, I would say like within the first 30 days of us, you know, saying like, okay, well, let's date each other and get to know each other. Like we weren't official or anything, but we were just in the dating stage. And, you know, it was some things, it was like some ways that he was moving that I didn't like. I found it to be uncomfortable. I found it to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he wasn't out getting nobody else's numbers. He wasn't out having sex with nobody else. None of that kind of stuff. But he was still moving in a very disrespectful manner. And so when I spoke with him about it, when I brought it up, he didn't see anything wrong with it. So then when I broke it down and I put the shoe on the other foot, it was like that's when the light bulb came on. And so ever since that day, we have always went by the motto of, I've told y'all this before, don't do anything or say anything that you can't do in front of me. As long as you stick by that motto, it's very hard to fuck up. It's very hard to fuck up if you stick by that motto. Do not do anything to somebody. Do not say anything to somebody that you wouldn't say in front of me. That way, you can't go wrong. That way, I don't have you out here looking stupid. You don't have me out here looking stupid. Because the day that I am out here looking stupid will be the day that I'm single. And I don't have no problem. I'll be the happiest single person you ever seen. Because I feel like that's a lot of women's problems. You want to be able to say you got a man so bad that you'll hold on to anything and you'll put up with anything. Not me. I promise you I won't. Now, it's one thing if you out here tipping and dipping and I don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? I can't control nothing that I don't know about. So, you know, if it just come to the light one day and it's like, wow, you know, you've been doing this behind my back this whole time, I just have to eat that because I didn't know. But it ain't no way that I'm going to be able to have facts that you out here making me look crazy and I'm going to stick around. Let me tell you something. I don't care how long we've been together. I don't care how tight the relationship is. I don't care how good the sex is. I don't care how good the money is. It's nothing that trumps my respect. You're going to respect me. And it's point blank, period. No negotiation. Respect me or leave me alone. Next case. So, like I said, the couples are out horseback riding except for, who was the other two I said? Chris and Amber. So, Chris comes in the house because Venetia had went out there where Chris and Amber was sitting at the table chopping it up. And hell, but Venetia was done with Joel at the moment. So, you know, she just came outside snapping and she said, you know, I'm just done with his stupid ass. Like, you know, I ain't got to put up with this. Venetia was very much me. Like, nigga, what? Yeah, no. So, yeah, so she came outside huffing and puffing. So, Chris then tipped on back in the building and was like, man, she is out there going off. I don't know how you gonna fix this. I don't know what you gonna do, but you gotta get it together. Like, Chris done tried to give him a whole speech, and Joel was like, all right, you know, I know what I'm saying. I know I gotta make this right. I done messed up. I gotta own up to my stuff, and I gotta make it right. But I just want to know one thing. Chris, did you have to give your input over the salad that everybody got to eat? Because you know you was real animated when you was talking to Joel. So I know that it was a little bit, I know it was a little moist right there in that area. You can't tell me that it wasn't. So, you know, I didn't appreciate you talking so passionately over these folks' salad, but I still understood where you was coming from. I just wanted to put that out there. And when they got back from horseback riding, Liz and Jason actually got some alone time together. It was like this little gazebo type of area, and it was nobody out there but them. So they got them a little alone time in. And you know, they were so into each other that Jason said in his confessional that he honestly had forgot about AJ and Kyra while he was spending time with Liz. They were nestled up under each other. At one point, Liz had even threw her legs across Jason's legs, and she was like, you know, do you want to massage my feet? You want to rub my feet? He was like, girl, I'll touch your feet. I'll touch your whole body. Like, it's nothing. It's nothing. And I said, you know, Jason is one freaky mug. That's a freak. Jason is a freak. Liz, I don't know if you need to leave with Jason, because I feel like, first of all, Jason is going to try to get a sample of your poom poom way before marriage. That's just first of all, because he's not going to be able to keep his hands off of you. And then once he finally get the poom poom, if it's so tight and right and just holy like he thinking that it is, he's not going to be able to let up off of it. He's not going to be able to let up off. So I just feel like you need to think about that. You need to add that as a factor when thinking about going into a relationship with Jason, because Jason is a horn dog. So I don't know which one of these ladies I would like to see Jason go home with. Maybe Alexis. I think I would be okay with Jason going home with Alexis, because I think Alexis is okay with having sex before marriage, and you know, they both still have that religious thing going on, so they could pretty much pair well there. And I think that their sexual vibration is, I think they pretty much got the same freak number. I think they got around the same freak number. But y'all, it's just now clicking to me that that is the first person that Alexis was feeling, but he wasn't feeling her because he couldn't get the son out of his mind, because he gonna feel like he's smashing one of the parents at the school. Dang. What a shame. What a shame. Oh, anyway, like he said, he had forgot about AJ and Kyra while he was spending his time with Liz. And so, you know, he just sitting there rubbing on her feet and staring into her eyes. And of course, this leads to another kissing scene. So he got him a good old smooch in. And then he gonna talk about some in the confessional, talking about some, oh man, I said I was not gonna kiss this lady no more until I decided what I really want to do about Kyra. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you said, but you're such a hornball that you take every given moment to get that kiss in, to get that squeeze in, get that feel in. Boy, sit your horn ass down somewhere. It's finally time. Joel is done with all his cooking, so it's finally time for everybody to eat. So everybody done washed up, got them something to eat, and they kind of broke off into couples to eat. So they were all kind of in the same vicinity of each other, but they were still broken up. So you got Joel and Venetia eating together because she was getting ready to walk off and go do her own thing and go find, you know, go find somewhere to sit down and eat. But everywhere she went, Joel was like he was just right there up on it. So she was like, well shit, I might as well just stand right here in the kitchen and eat my damn plate because you ain't gonna let me move. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna let you move. And he didn't want her to move because he took that as his opportunity to go ahead and give her a genuine apology. And he said that after talking to Chris, he realized that he was wrong, first of all, for saying Kyra's name or anybody's name, because like he told her, I could have said anybody. I could have said Alexis. I could have said Amber. I could have said anybody, just long as I didn't say you, because I was mad at you at that time. So he apologized for that, and he also apologized for not telling her. And he was, you know, pretty much just like, you know, I just want to start over. Like, you know, you're the one who I'm pursuing. Like, let's not play these games. And then he was like, can I get a kiss? And that tickled Venetia to high hell. Like, she had forgot she was mad at that point. So she was like, yeah, you know, all I was really waiting for was that apology. You know, when I'm passionate about something, when I get upset about something, she was like, you know, I'm never upset for long, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say. And, you know, AJ decided that he wanted to eat dinner with Alexis. So you got Alexis and AJ sitting there eating together, and they're having a conversation because AJ feels like the same reoccurring issue keeps coming up on Alexis's end about communication. Because Alexis was kind of frustrated with AJ because she said, you know, after we went on a double date and we had this, you know, this very sensual kiss, I really felt like we were in a certain place, but then I didn't hear from you no more after that. So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, you know, he's obviously out somewhere pursuing Kyra. But AJ's point, you know, his perspective of that was like, no, that's not what that means. That doesn't mean that I've been out pursuing Kyra. That just means that I don't want to put my foot on the gas, because if I'm just always on go with you right after that, you know, after that kiss, if I'm just, you know, if I stay stuck up your ass from here on out, that's gonna make us be moving too fast and we're gonna crash. Was AJ's point of view, is that he just don't move like that. And I understand that. I totally got where AJ was coming from, but it also took me back to the episode when AJ went out on a date with Amber. And she pretty much just called him out about not being the best at pursuing, and not letting a woman know how you really feel about her. Like, yeah, you talk to me, yeah, you've been out on a date with me, yeah, we even kissed just here recently, but you're not giving me enough, and you're not telling me enough that lets me know how you really feel about me and where I sit in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is it always just gonna be we go out on random dates from time to time, we might kiss, we might not, you know what I'm saying, depending on what kind of perfume I got on. You might try to hit, you might not, and then I'll hear from your ass again 3 weeks later. Is that the kind of shit that we on? Or is it just something that's got to happen, that's gonna click, and then one day you'll be in constant pursuit of me? You'll really be able to show me that, I'll get a daily phone call, I'll get text messages constantly throughout the day, I'll get weekly date nights. You know what I'm saying? I'll get that one-on-one quality time. Either you come over my house, and then at some point you'll be able to meet my son, and then I can come over to your house from time to time. We Netflix and chilling, we're doing whatever. But I can't see none of that because you're only giving me the bare minimum. You gotta let me know something. That's where Alexis was coming from. And so, she was trying to make her point, but like she said, she felt like that conversation was going in circles, and everybody was getting up and getting ready to, clean up the dinner plates and all of that type of stuff. So she said, look, we'll revisit this shit later, because we're going around in circles at this point, and I'm getting frustrated. And AJ was like, you good? She was like, yeah, I'm good. All right, so after dinner, the couples all get together, and they say, well, y'all, let's play some games. Here go Joelle, brace face ass, talking about let's play truth or dare. I said, oh, so now that the truth is out on the table, you want to play truth or dare. You don't want to play something fun that can't get somebody in trouble. You want to play a messy ass game like truth or dare. Shame on you, Joelle. But anyway, so, everybody's down to play, child. So, it's either you do truth or dare, and then if you can't answer the question, or if you don't want to do the dare, then you have to take a drink. You have to take a shot of alcohol. So, they get the questions going, and at first, everything is cute and fun and flirty, talking about, oh, well, you got to kiss them for 10 seconds. You got to rub her feet for 2 minutes. First they doing little cute stuff, and then it got messy, child. The questions came in, and it was time to get funky. Kyra was shocked because one of his questions was, is he torn between Liz and Kyra? And he said, yeah, that's true. I am torn between Liz, I'm sorry. Yes, I am torn between Liz and Kyra. And so it was a 2-part question. So the second part of the question was, okay, well, which one are you kind of feeling more than the other? Baby, he reached for that shot glass so goddamn fast. He said, give me that drink. Give me that drink, because I'm not going to answer this, and both of these ladies is sitting right here in my face. Give me that shot. So this made Kyra feel some type of way, because she was like, wow, the fact that Jason could not answer this question of which one of us he's feeling more, it really makes me feel some type of way. So, that was that. Joelle asked Liz about has the process changed her? And then Kyra wanted to know, how did the date go, the elimination date with David, and then somebody else wanted to know how the elimination date went with Ron. So to answer the questions, Liz said that yes, this process has definitely changed her, but she feels like it has definitely changed her for the best. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't really exactly read what she meant by that, But I think that it could be a mixture of just her getting more of a backbone in the relationship, not being so submissive, you know, kind of being able to sift through the bullshit a little better, you know, and not walk through life with your blinders on when it comes to dealing with these nothing ass men. Yeah, so I think that that's kind of what she meant. But yeah, she said the process has definitely changed her. And then she told everybody the story of how David was just, you know, left so rudely. And of course, everybody was shocked. And then it was Alexis' turn to talk about the elimination with Ron. And she said that in all her days, she has never been talked to and disrespected that badly by a man. So everybody was like, what? And then she couldn't wait to shift her body a little bit and look over at Amber and said, yeah. And when after he said everything he had to say, he let me know that him and Amber went out on a date and they kissed. And she said, you were my friend. You were the one that was calling me and giving me advice about this man. So now I feel betrayed and I look at you as like a Judas. Let me say something. Amber had that mouth on hush. Now, don't ever get me fucked up. I do feel like on any given day, if they had to throw hands, that Amber would definitely rip Alexis a new ass. Because I don't know if y'all have been on Instagram and seen pictures of Amber, but let me tell you something. Mama is more than a DA. She be in that boxing ring for real, for real. Amber be in the gym for real, for real. This girl got muscles for no reason. This girl look like she is about to go to the Olympics. I'm talking about she got a Serena and Venus type of body. She got body, muscle. So yeah, Alexis, I don't want you to get too fly at the mouth if you really up close on Amber, because Amber ain't nothing to play with. Like, I don't even know if I play with Amber too much, because I already know if that bitch catch me with a right or a left hook, it's gonna sting, it's gonna hurt, and possibly knock a couple of my teeth loose. And I need that. I need all that, because I gotta keep putting these videos out like the fuck. But that's neither here nor there. Alexis said what she had to say. You know what I'm saying? She said what she said, and she let Amber know that, you know, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I thought me and you were building a real genuine friendship, and you out here, the person that I'm telling you that I'm pursuing the most, that's the person you out on a date with. That's the person you talking to on the phone every day. And then on top of that, you gonna kiss this man. So, and you ain't told me none of it. And then in the confessional, Amber gonna have a nerve to say, damn girl, you gonna bring this up in front of everybody when you could have just called me and we could have talked about this, but you wait till we get here to discuss this in front of everybody? Mind you, that Chris was sitting beside Alexis. So Chris sitting there looking like, what? You been out with Ron? You kissed this man? You talk to that man every day? Girl, we got to talk. And so, like, it's like everybody at this point is looking cray-cray. Everybody's looking cray-cray. I said, oh, baby. Love, Ready to Love is trying to, they're trying to light it up. Ready to Love is trying to light it up, honey, and I'm here for it. I'm here for every last bit of it. Let's see. So now we're at the very end. So after all of that debacle with Alexis putting her feelings out on the table with Amber, nobody got eliminated this week, because the drama is going to continue on next week's episode. And baby, I can't wait. I can't wait. Let's see. I feel like next week's episode is gonna be even better, y'all. I really do. So please do not forget to come back to my channel next week, because I'm ready to talk about the shit. I'm ready to talk about the shit, honey. Let's see. I guess that's it, y'all. I hope that all of you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I hope you have enjoyed this review as much as I have enjoyed recording it. You already know I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe. This is your girl P Hope, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.